Hello people, and welcome back to part 25 of Noveria, our Cities Skylines snow build. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thank you for the support on Sunday's stream. We came through with some more downtown refinements, introducing the first slums into Noveria's downtown. Something of a more lower income housing area, right, around all this elevated transport infrastructure. Reworked our bridge to allow the truss supports to appear as well with the metro. Very nice. And then also brought in two more uniques over onto the side of the waterfront. Still a little bit more detailing to be done over this side, but I would like to wait for some office demand to come in to fill this with some office space. But otherwise, the downtown is really coming along, and we've chiseled away over the last, I guess, like 8 episodes, right? We've been here now. Yeah, we've chiseled away loads of it. It's not that far away from finished, to be honest. A few more builds out in these parts, and a touch more refinement to do within the inner city. But we are going to move away from Noveria's downtown today. We are going to head back to rural Cities Skylines, which is amazing. I love rural building. And I think for Cities Skylines too, we all just want rural skylines, don't we? That's what we're all here for. Alright, cool. So we're going to build the rival town to Noveria today. So of course this is our outer line rural build over this side of the mountain. Are we okay? Why are we losing power? You're not? You're just pretending? Okay. Everyone, Noveria's winding me up. Alright, so we have Noveria, and over this side of the mountain, we're going to build Somewheria. Of course. What else? So yeah, nice little flat plane to work with here today, with some very nice location opportunities at the foot of this dam, which is tremendously exciting, isn't it? Very beautiful. So I'm thinking, cute little town centre layout, and we're going to kind of divide this up over live streams and episodes, right? We're going to have our town centre and waterfront today, with a little bit of surrounding suburb, and then we can come in during our live streams and start implementing some cuter, smaller builds up and around the mountain, or focused around the dam, maybe get some industry up here. Lots of opportunities with this area. Of course, with the wonderful map that Exe has made us. So, let's build a rural town, shall we? So we're going to start our rural town by drawing in a road of about 30 tiles, okay? I think 30 tiles there, isn't it? And then let's start coming up with just a very base kind of town centre frame, okay? This is what we want to build some area around, so we're going to kind of revolve out of this, right? Now, of course, we do want connection into the outside world, so we can centralise nicely here, and the map does come with a highway exit already over this side, which is nice. So there's not going to be huge amounts of population in this side of the map, so this interchange could choke at some point. If it does, we will just turn it into a Y. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. But there's going to be train connections here as well, so connectivity into the outside world shouldn't be that much of an issue, hopefully. So let's continue bringing our road network down. How about we switch up to a large avenue with grass as we come down towards that waterfront, and then let's switch up to perhaps a fancier road with trees, and then align with the edge of the town centre frame. Let's go with a little bit of freeform as well and start lining up some roads to run parallel with the river. We'll do the same on this side again as well. We should have a road guideline from the highway to snap to here. Yeah, we do, but not really bothered about snapping to that. And then again, just another straight run down. So this will give us some nice waterfront vibes, okay? So we should have a discussion about the possibility of keys. So I've been thinking about maybe keying certain parts of the waterfront, but because it's rural, I'm not entirely sure. You know, I used to be indecisive, but now I'm not so sure about the keys. I think they do work, right? I think they're okay. We can definitely get away with them. So let's come back onto our normal roads, and we'll hook into these new kind of tethered roads that are running out here now, right? I'm gonna bring this road up out here. Just connect it in. Okay, so that's not bad for a little base frame, right? That's gonna give us. It's gonna give us what we need. Let's come back over to the little junction here. We want to decide a way to connect this in. So I'm thinking initial thoughts are going to be a symmetrical road. And we'll see how this performs. It might need upgrading to a roundabout. We'll just see what happens with the traffic again. Just coming back to the point of there isn't going to be that much population in this part of the map, so we should be okay. Again, with that asymmetricals, we want the 2-lane facing into the junction. So that's what we want, right? Yeah. So this is a nice configuration. That's going to be fine. And then this will give us... Oh dear, that's a little bit of a bumpy start, isn't it? Let's see if we can rework that. Okay, so we'll connect our road in here. Again, there's plenty of decoration opportunities to lie along this arterial, which we can of course briefly discuss. It'd be rude not to, right? So why don't we grab perhaps a little bit of nature reserve pathway, always a favourite with a rural build, and then perhaps complement that again with some nature reserve fence that can flank either side, and then a very simple basic repeated conifer pattern along this entrance here. And we can just start to bring in some more rural country vibes around the road network, which will certainly help it settle in a little easier. We can't really see the skyline from here, which is a bit of a shame from down on the street level. We could terraform this hill away, but I think that's kind of nice, right? We never see the skyline from this angle, so it's nice to see it from here. Okay, so I think this is going to give us a nice start here. This is really what we're after, okay? Nice little frame. So of course we are working with a town centre, so unique buildings are always going to make an appearance here. Let's bring up these holding frames initially and see what we have to work with. So the tax office, I've been saving this for a while now, and I think this is what I want to run with. Super great town centre looking building. We would have used this earlier if it wasn't for building Minot Square with that European looking asset, but very happy with this one, and this is what we're going to run with. So why don't we align this centrally with the road that goes down to the waterfront. That's going to be quite nice. And then I've also been eyeing up the Meteorite Park as well from the Natural Disasters DLC. And we can throw this down here. Again, it's going to fill that space in that square naturally. Can we snap onto the path nodes out of this asset? I think we can, right? No, strange. I thought we could draw out from this one. It must be a different one that I'm thinking of. But either way, that's going to be a nice little kind of town centre design, right? Let's continue to add in lots of service assets around for these guys. So why don't we come in with a high school design perhaps in one of these squares over here. Let's maybe come in to face this side. Actually, I think we'll leave it facing the water. And then a gymnasium is always a nice partnered asset with the high schools, so we'll drop this here as well. The folks, of course, will also want primary school education, so we can maybe squeeze in. Let's see here, what do we want? Maybe we'll start bringing down some road networks off of that initial holding frame, and hopefully work with a community school on this side. Okay. And again, we'll just rework our road network to accommodate some new assets now, so let's maybe go with something from our park life tab. Let's go for perhaps a small playground partnered with a dog park, and then we can introduce again some of that nature reserve pathway that we discussed at the start of the video, and we can bring the road up here again. We'll also have a talk about medical care, so I think a med clinic would work rather nicely here, so let's throw this down as well. And of course our emergency services, let's go ahead and grab a fire station on the side and a police station over here too. Maybe squeeze this behind our med clinic, or maybe down on the waterfront. Yeah, I think we'll move the station on the waterfront as well. So let's get our district painted out because there's going to be a couple different styles that will appear in this area. Somewheria as the as the name, and then we're going to go for European suburbia as the district kind of housing specialization, because it's just nicer. It just suits the rural vibe a lot more. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these keys aligned up with the holding frame, and then we can start discussing introducing some residentials and commercial into the new town. Okay, so let's start out with a little bit of residential designs as to how I want the residentials to actually appear in this town. So what I'm looking to generate, we want no road guideline snapping, because this has the chance of giving us shattered zoning, which isn't what I want to appear. So I'm looking to save a distance of 3 tiles between the backs of these residentials, okay? And we are going to specifically zone, of course. So as we wait for our residentials to come in, we're going to come back into that nature reserve pathway again and feed it all the way through. Okay? And then at certain points, we're going to bring it down and allow us to hook in, alright? They're going to sweep back through with some forestry fence. Again, any kind of fence will work for this design really. It doesn't have to be the forestry, but I really want these kind of behind house alleys to appear across so I really want these kind of behind house alleys to appear across the city in a number of places. And I think once it's repeated, it will give us quite a nice aesthetic as well. So let's now begin to shape the road network in and around this, alright? So let's maybe come with one more over here. Okay, then bring this down as well. Don't want to have connectivity everywhere today. Let's check this one again. So it's 480, it's come out by maybe one more than that. Let's go for 520. Okay, let's get our game on 3 speed too. Let's get these houses in. Then we can draw up some districts over here. And again, just saving these 3 tile gaps between the housing. It just gives us plenty of opportunities to keep introducing our chosen residential detailing palette for the episode, which is of course our forestry fence today. And once everyone's in, looks like we're good to go. We can just give it a quick mass zoning, which is going to be nice. Where we do maybe want to bring the pathway design through, we can just trim some of those 4x4s into 4x3s and then allow the path to flow down again. So really cute trick, and it's a nice way of making the residentials look a little bit better within the vanilla game. Alright. We should hopefully see. Oh, looks like the sun. There's a little bit of glitch with the lighting, I think, where the sun's trying to come through, but already looking forward to some nighttime vibes at the foot of the dam, everyone. Cinematics should be nice today. I think they should be nice. Okay, very nice. Yeah, so let's start bringing some commercial focus onto the waterfront. We do want commercial in a couple of different places around here, alongside our usual parks and all the other lovely stuff that we enjoy. Of course, we're in a snow city. I'd be crucified if I didn't include any snow assets, so let's bring some of these in as well. We also have some cross-country skiing park here as well, which this would probably be the place to start bringing in maybe some rural ski vibes up on these slopes. So if you guys are interested in seeing maybe a skiing episode where we work on a ski resort, do let me know in the comments. Okay. But we have a whole bunch of residential demand to fulfill. So as our demands now continue to fluctuate, we have a bunch of commercial demand coming in, so we'll make sure that we're continually zoning up our waterfront and being very choosy with what assets are being allowed to grow. We can very easily shatter the rural vibe with regular commercial zoning, so it's important we keep our eye on it, okay? Not bad. Let me know if you guys like the day-night cycle on during the episodes as well. It kind of adds a little more colour in when the lighting isn't going insane, but it's maybe a little more interesting to look like than the relentless white. So whilst that commercial zoning grows in, I definitely want a train station over here. And I think we're going to go with the ground bypass station, or maybe... Yeah, I think we'll go with the dual island platform, okay? So let's drop this in, see what we think. Of course, very nice asset. We've used this before. One of the content creator ones. So we're quite happy with that, I think. Quite happy with that. Okay, so the train line is a little bit of a difficult fit. We're going to have to come over with a bridge, which isn't the most realistic thing in the world, but I think I can live with it. Maybe elevate it at some point, but for right now, it gives us that connectivity, and then it's going to sweep up and around the side of the mountain. So we do have trains going in and out of Noveria, which is fine. However, I definitely want a passenger connection into the downtown transport hub here. You know, you would absolutely catch a train from out here and then take it, you know, elsewhere into the city. So this now gives us this platform hooked into the train network. So I'll have one here and then all the way back toward our rural station. We'll stop here, this will be fine. And then straight the way back. We will have our airports out here, so we can also add in an airport train stop at this point as well. Once we have that requirement. But wonderful. So we're now connected directly in to the downtown. Which of course links everywhere else. So lots of interconnectivity for these people. I guess we'll just see, right? We'll see how many people decide to come and go from Somewheria using that method. So let's throw a little park outside of our train station, okay? Maybe a little small one or park with trees. Park with trees maybe a little bit too big. Let's go for a regular one. Okay. And then we'll box this in with a little bit of road network. Perhaps a touch shorter than that. Just come off that road guideline too. And then bring this down and hook it in. Let's return to talking about a couple more services. I think I want a public library over in the town as well. They just work really nicely here. And it's going to slot in perfectly here too, which will be nice. Again, the orientation is really important. Do we want this to emerge out into the train station or face the waterfront? And I think everything towards the waterfront is going to be nice. And we've got lots of nice opportunities here for developing Greenbelt, of course. Let's maybe bring in some behind zoning and road against road action. It looks like we have some opportunities here for perhaps a touch more commercial zoning and some more of that path network to come through as well. All about keeping in with the same palettes and designs that we set out at the start of the episode to keep the theme running. And I think I'm happy to maybe move into a little more freeform here now as we start to meander down towards that waterfront. Okay, lots of details going to help us here as well. Probably want to bring in probably a post office too. Post office work really nice corner assets. So let's bring in perhaps a little industrial road off the arterial and provide perhaps a couple of recycling centres. And we can perhaps introduce some rural maintenance vibes to tie in with the train station. I think because, you know, these are such stark, contrasting assets that we have to integrate them somehow, okay? So we'll maybe bring them out here. We'll see. See what happens. And again, we have a bunch of commercial zoning available now, so why don't we start fleshing out some commercial designs that are going to lie within this kind of block here, okay? And we can continue to repeat those themes and ideas, perhaps throwing it in the right-hand tile now, and then bring them down into here as well. Let's pop our game on 3 speed so we can see what assets are going to grow. And then maybe another one there as well. So it's all about just fleshing out this town centre design now, making it feel and look as authentic as possible. I think everyone's fine over here now, right? We have our education. High school and elementary are being met. Everyone has, we have police protection, fire protection, medical care. Everyone's wonderfully happy. Perhaps we want to introduce a child healthcare centre. This might be alright. Again, just every time we see these little spots appear for pathways to come through, it's all just more opportunity to make our city that much more walkable. So already it's growing, isn't it? Nice little rural town centre, some surrounding suburb. This is what I'm talking about here, right? Asset selection. This totally kills the vibe. Hate these assets. Let's get rid of them. Then we can just have a little scan along our waterfront now, see how everyone's getting on. Historical, any buildings that we like. I like you. We do love the pennies, of course. Pennies is a big favourite. I think I've already made this one historical. Yeah, a little ice cream parlour. So, quiet corner shop. Little petrol station. Happy with all these. You should be okay. Got 142 a week coming in from the trains. How are they? How full are they heading back out? 15. Okay. Should be okay though. Just double check our junctions. Everyone's happy here. And then down here we are, so far, still surviving. Everyone seems to be okay. And yeah, we're getting some more low worker demands. So let's continue to expand that residential population. Population's growing without any water, of course. Let's make sure they're all hooked in. Very nice. So just continuing to run in our specifically zoned patterns, and then once everyone's in, we just mass zone up again. Wonderful. Nice way of getting population in, and also looking good as well. So now we're seeing this pattern start to repeat very heavily. Works really nice with European suburbia. I've seen some folks pick up these little behind house paths anyway. We definitely call these back alleys in England. I think it's different everywhere actually. Each part of England calls them something different, but we can do some nice things here. Just want to briefly discuss the entrance into the town. Because we're working with junctions fairly close to each other, we want to just help the game alleviate this pressure. So we're going to introduce a one-way flow system in and out of the town. So as they come in, they can only turn right, and then vice versa, exiting the town. Should just help keep this junction free a little bit. So we'll just keep our eye on that. Should be okay. Okay, so again, asset selection. Awful assets coming in. I think we definitely want some elder care over here as well. And I think this will work nicely up and against the water somewhere. So why don't we maybe throw this down here? Let's remove these commercials and relocate them to the left and the right of the elder care. Okay. And this should be a nice waterfront building. Of course, because we're near a waterfront, we definitely want some actual water assets from our tourism and leisure tab. So probably a fishing pier is going to be a nice shout. Now, of course, they don't have connections at the minute, but we can fix this. Let's also maybe go for a little bit of fishing as well. There's also park life opportunities. We do have piers in here as well if we want. We can turn this into a park life area. So I think we'll grab a dirt road out of the head of here to give these guys a connection. Just going onto road length and angle. Will be fine. Alright. So that'll connect those guys in. And again, detail opportunities everywhere around here as well. Okay, so one more thing I want to discuss is we had a comment on Sunday's live stream about including Reindeer Farms in this part of the map, which is a really, really good idea. I'll throw the comment up on the video now. So thank you for that suggestion, it's really cool. And we do have the moose and reindeer enclosures already unlocked from some of the brief work that we've already done with the zoo assets. So why don't we place two of these back to back over here, okay? Let's get them in right next door to each other. And then we can box these in with a touch of dirt. Alright, let's bring them straight up and then come behind and then trim off the support network. Wonderful. Some issues that are making themselves known. We do have some death popping up, and again, these guys are so far away from any kind of death care facility, so it's going to make sense to perhaps bring maybe another little road out of the back of this little kind of service and detail area that is developing over here. Alright, let's bring in some road networks. Let's place in some graveyards. Again, trim up the road network. And then we can bring these to life a little bit more during our detailing time lapse, which does feel like a good place to move into it. We have a whole bunch of stuff to do down here. Probably going to bring some Green Cities farmers markets into the town, especially up and against the water. A whole bunch of asset refinement needed with the commercial. This one's alright now, this one's growing nicely. But there's a few of them here that don't really match the rural town vibe, so we'll definitely have to refine. Of course, bring the natural forest back around the edge of the town so it doesn't look quite as naked and exposed. And then a ton of path detailing with link green belts through back and to everywhere. And develop some nice country designs out by the train station as well. Otherwise, let's detail it up, and we'll be right back. Okay guys, that is going to do it for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the episode, likes, comments and shares really help out my channel. Equally as much if you haven't enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a dislike as well. Really happy with this new population centre in the corner of Noveria's mountains at the foot of the dam. Really nice position for it. There are plenty of kind of micro builds that can now be expanded out of this. During our next live stream we will continue to detail the area including the highway and the opposite side of the river, and continue to refine any assets that we come across that we don't like, and generally just make the area feel a little bit more lived in. A huge thank you for all the support on the channel recently, and I hope you guys are enjoying the new editing that we're doing and new graphics that we have, and I hope it makes the videos more enjoyable at least anyway. But thank you for all the support. It's because of that support that we're able to do stuff like that, so amazing. Thank you so much. I do hang around for the outro times. There was a ton of detailing and you guys wouldn't have seen it all, and there should be some nice screenshots over to that skyline as well. But otherwise I will shut up and leave it there. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.